Hello and welcome back to Comfort Legacies with Fay Michelle. Today I am going to read to you in its entirety. How about that? Okay. How about Let Me Into Preschool? See this? This is Let Me Into Preschool. We'll try that one really fast. We'll finish that one too. Okay, since we have a little bit more time left. And so here we go. Grandma Fay Michelle loves sharing her childhood memories with her 4-year-old grandson, MJ. The last story she told MJ was called Gotta Have That Green Banana. You remember that story? It's over there. Gotta Have That Green Banana. Today's story is about Fay Michelle's bravery and persistence. At 3 years and 9 months old, she convinces her teacher to let her start preschool early. Are you ready to hear the story of how I got myself into preschool, MJ? Asked Grandma Fay Michelle. Yes, Grandma, but you should wait for your grandma, Cleo, to help you get into school. My mommy and daddy take me to school, and sometimes grandparents. I don't like to see you by yourself, Grandma, said MJ. You're right, MJ. Now, let me tell you the story. Turn the page. Elias, please try to be still, said Grandma Fay Michelle. Okay, that's MJ there. And Grandma's about to tell him the story with his little doggy, okay? Fay Michelle lived with her Grandma Cleo. They shared fun times together. Grandma Cleo and Fay Michelle crocheted a purple hat and matching scarf for Dot. Remember Dot in the last story? School would be starting in the fall, and Dot needed winter clothes. Dot had turned 4 years old and was having a big birthday party. Fay Michelle was very excited because she loved Dot. They were cousins and the best of friends. Fay Michelle said, I think Dot will be happy to see these gifts that we have made for her birthday. I can't wait to go to the party. And there's Fay Michelle. She can't wait to go to the party. They're at the craft store purchasing things for Dot. While at the birthday party, Grandma Cleo and Fay Michelle surprised Dot with a purple hat and scarf. Dot loved her gift. She danced and twirled around with laughter. There's the party. They're at the party. Yeah, great party. Dot said to Fay Michelle, I am going to preschool. Are you going to preschool with me? Fay Michelle looked sad. No, I'm not old enough to go to school yet, but my birthday will be coming soon. Maybe I will be able to go to school on my birthday, she said in an optimistic voice. She was excited. She wanted to go to school. And her and Dot was at the party together. She was at Dot's party, right? And Dot was turning. Where you go? Happy birthday, it's my birthday. I'm going to school, sang Dot. Fay Michelle began to cry just a little. Why are you crying? Is it because I'm so pretty? Asked Dot. Confused by Dot's question, Fay Michelle nodded. Yes. And they shared a gentle hug. But Fay Michelle was really sad because she wanted to go to school with Dot and the other kids. Not because Dot was so pretty, but that's what Dot thought. After the party, Grandma Cleo kissed Dot goodbye, and Grandma Cleo and Fay Michelle headed home. Bye-bye. They're saying goodbye. Big party, right? Every day, Fay Michelle watched from her front window as the students went to school. The school was next door to their house. Fay Michelle wanted to go to school and be with Dot and the other children. She thought, I'm a big, brave girl. I want to go to school just like Dot and my other friends. She wanted to go to school. The kids are outside walking, headed to school. One day, Fay Michelle overheard her Grandma Cleo talking on the phone with a friend. A new preschool program is going to be starting soon. The teacher is looking for new students to enroll in class. Fay Michelle would love to go to preschool, but she will miss the deadline. She is too young to start school, said Grandma Cleo to her. Fay Michelle began to pout. She thought, I'm a smart girl. I'm not too young to go to school. I can tie my own shoes and clean my room and make my own sandwich. I know how to make doll clothes too. She's tying her shoe and she's proud of herself. She's happy. I can tie my own shoe. Can you tie your shoe? Fay Michelle was just about 4 years old. She was only 3 years old and 9 months. Fay Michelle was turning 4 years old soon, but not in time to meet the deadline. And she said, Grandma Cleo, this is not right. It is not fair to me. I am higher than Piggy, and he goes to school. Piggy was a short kid with curly hair. He lived across the street from Fay Michelle, and it turned 4 years old before Dot's birthday party. You mean to say that you are taller than Piggy, not higher than Piggy? It is true that you are taller than most children your age, said Grandma Cleo. And there's Fay Michelle. She is writing some things, right? Fay Michelle decided that she would get herself enrolled in preschool. Early one morning, she waited for the preschool teacher to arrive at school. Fay Michelle was sitting on the front porch when she saw the teacher heading toward her preschool classroom. She left her front porch and followed the teacher into the classroom. There's Fay Michelle outside of the school. Her grandma's in the window watching her. Hello, Miss Teacher. I am 3 years old and I am brave. I am not afraid of the dark like my cousin Dot. I can tie my own shoes, clean my own room, and make my own sandwich. May I start preschool? The teacher recognized Fay Michelle from next door. She had seen Fay Michelle looking out of the window of her home. She laughed briefly at Fay Michelle's boldness in requesting to go to school. With a smile, the teacher said, Well, hello. What is your name? While pointing toward her house, which could be seen through the classroom window, the small girl bravely said, My name is Fay Michelle. I live over there with my Grandma Cleo. Do you know my grandma? The teacher answered, No, I do not know your Grandma Cleo, although some mornings I see both of you looking through your window. You will need your grandma to sign you up for preschool. However, you need to be 4 years old in order to enroll. It's Fay Michelle talking to the teacher, trying to get her to let her into school before she turned 4 years old. But I'm higher than Piggy. I'm taller than Piggy. And he goes to school, Fay Michelle boasted. I will have to speak to your Grandma Cleo. Would you go home and bring her back to class with you, please? Asked the teacher. There's Fay Michelle in the classroom talking to the teacher, trying to let her in. Let me in. Let me in the preschool. Fay Michelle ran out of the classroom door and smashed into someone. She looked up. She was looking right into her Grandma Cleo's face. I saw you leave the house and I came after you. Why are you here at the school? Asked Grandma Cleo. Fay Michelle took a deep breath and said, I wanted to go to school and I asked Miss Teacher if I could go to preschool. We have talked about this before and you are too young to attend school at this time, said Grandma Cleo. There's Fay Michelle and the teacher and Grandma. Met her at the door. Mrs. Lindsay was happy that Fay Michelle would be attending preschool. However, there was one thing that Grandma Cleo and Fay Michelle needed to know. Fay Michelle could attend preschool, but she would not be able to go to kindergarten next year with the other children in her class because of the deadline. She will have to repeat preschool before moving on to kindergarten. Fay Michelle was totally confused by what Mrs. Lindsay was saying. All she knew was that she really wanted to attend preschool, and that made her happy. But she was also a little worried that all of the other children in the preschool class would move on to kindergarten without her. Oh boy, will I have to stay in preschool forever, said Fay Michelle. How about we not worry about kindergarten until next year? Let's go and get school supplies for your first day of preschool, said Grandma Cleo. There's Fay Michelle. She's in the classroom. Fay Michelle was so happy to be getting new pencils, crayons, a lunchbox, and a new book bag. She was pleased that the teacher was allowing her to attend school at 3 years and 9 months old. Fay Michelle felt proud of herself for being persistent and not giving up on getting into preschool. She said to her Grandma Cleo, before starting preschool, I will need a pink hat and scarf just like we made for Dot. I know that you will be lonely when I go to preschool, but I will be right next door. You can come and get me if you need me to thread your sewing machine needle. There's Fay Michelle. She got a backpack and a new pencil. Grandma Cleo gave Fay Michelle a big hug and said, I am proud of you for getting yourself into preschool. I will miss you while you're at school. Fay Michelle said, I will miss you also, and I will need a new birthday for next year. I think it should be in June. Grandma gave her a warm smile. She's tying her shoes again. Well, MJ, did you enjoy the story? Asked Grandma Fay Michelle. Yes, Grandma. You went to preschool because you were taller than Piggy, just like I go to preschool because I'm taller than my baby brother Elias. Can you tell me the story about the green banana? Asked MJ. Not tonight, dear, but tomorrow I will tell you the story about my first day at preschool, said Grandma Fay Michelle. Grandma, what is a deadline? Oh, it is a date. But what kind of date is it, said MJ. Yes, it is a date or a time that you must complete something before. Remember how I set the timer for you to complete your math flashcards? You had to finish going through all of the cards before the timer went off. That is a type of deadline. I needed to turn 4 years old before a certain date, said Grandma Fay Michelle. Okay, I get it, said MJ. The end. Big, big hugs. And that is the end. MJ and Grandma. And that is it. And that is Let Me Into Preschool. Let Me Into Preschool. And I hope you've enjoyed the stories, and make sure you tune in again to see, maybe it will be Ice Cream for Ice Cream and Bee Stings. Ice and Bee Stings. I wonder what that's all about. Ice cream and these things. Okay. With Fay Michelle and Comfort Legacies, and MJ didn't show up. That will be our next story. But thank you for tuning in.